What's up guys, so today I thought I'd do a video on comparing ourselves and why it is toxic to us. So typically when we compare ourselves, we compare the negative aspects of us to the positive aspects of somebody else. It's a waste of time. We go on Instagram and we start comparing ourselves saying, they've got a watch, they've got a car, they've got a massive house. So you could be spending this time improving yourself, but instead you're just comparing and saying, I don't have this, I don't have that, but they do. Comparing ourselves downplays our achievements. So I'm going to give you a personal example. Recently I just got my A-level results. I did really well, but for some reason I still couldn't help but compare myself and think, oh wait, they're going to Cambridge, they're doing this, they're going to this uni, oh they got this many A stars. And it got unhealthy because at some point it started to downplay what I had got, what I had worked hard for. But I needed to remind myself that, you know what, not everybody gets the opportunity to be in the position that I'm in, which leads me on to the next point, that there will always be people who are better than you and worse than you. If we constantly keep comparing, we will never reach that ultimate goal. I feel like even the people that we admire, even the celebrities that we think they have it all, they don't. One thing that I really think we need to understand is that we don't know the situation of a person. We only know as much as they decide to show us, whether it's on social media, whether it's face to face. You really might not even know the inside out of somebody and everything that they go through. So sometimes we might desire somebody's career, but we don't know the amount of sleepless nights. We can try to take on what somebody else has, but we don't understand how much work they've put in. So then we get discouraged because we're like, oh, I'm not capable of that. But that's not what you were meant for. Another problem with comparing ourselves is it doesn't leave room to work on ourselves. So we get confused between who we are, or who we think that we are, and who we want to be. And in the process, we start adopting behaviors that are what we think the other person that we're comparing ourselves to is like, as opposed to saying, okay, this is me, this is what I like, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do. And I think that's very unhealthy, because it's unhealthy for relationships, whether it's friendships, like boyfriend-girlfriend relationships, marriages, work relationships. Then you don't know yourself. You don't know where you fit in with people. You don't know what you expect from others, and you don't know what they expect from you. Sometimes I actually think comparing ourselves limits ourselves, because we think that we desire this certain thing that somebody else has got, but actually we are capable of far more than what they even have. So often we can also compare ourselves in a way where we think positively of ourselves and more negatively of others. So in a sense we try to say, okay, I'm in a better position in life than them. And there is a Bible verse for that. So 2 Corinthians 10:12 says, "Not we dare to classify or compare ourselves with some of those who are commending themselves, but when they measure themselves by one another and compare themselves with one another, they are without understanding." So when you try to praise yourself or to uplift yourself in a sense of pride that you are better than somebody else, it can become very like trying to put people below you. In a sense, we start to feel as if we're in competition with everybody. But you know what? Life isn't always like that. Sometimes the competition is with yourself, to improve, to get better with yourself and not compared to somebody else. The best person that can be you is you, and the best person that can be them is them. And I just want to encourage you to not be bitter, but be better. I think comparing ourselves leaves a lot of room for resentment. We resent ourselves and we resent others and what they have. And in that sense, we start to develop jealousy. Jealousy is unhealthy. I think it's very much, jealousy is a type of hate, and to hate somebody consciously, unconsciously is not good. I firmly believe that we all have a purpose to fulfill. And maybe your purpose may not be as big or maybe even bigger than what somebody else is doing. But if we constantly desire to have what somebody else has, to do what somebody else does, then we never get to fulfill our purpose.